What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Episode 2 of the Only Child podcast by Ari and Aurora. I'm here with my boy Dom Barlow.
What's going
Dom,
on,
thank you
man?
for coming through.
I appreciate it. Thank
Yeah,
you for
of
having me.
course, of course. Yeah. So tell me, how's your summer going?
It's been good. Just got back
Been
from
good.
summer league.
Uh huh.
Everything's been going well.
Everything's
Just
good.
trying to hoop.
Trying to hoop.
Stay at the show. Just keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah. No, and congratulations on everything you did in the past few years. Like it's big,
No, I
you know.
appreciate it.
So let's get straight into it. So we obviously met when we was playing AAU together on the
Yeah.
Bulls back in ninth grade. Um, that felt so long ago, for
No,
real.
for sure.
Yeah. So for people who don't know your story, we'll get into that later. But like let's talk about your childhood and like how you start playing basketball.
Yeah. Okay. So I started playing basketball. I was 8 years old. One of my coaches introduced me to the game. His name's Coach Efraz. That's my guy. Still stay in contact with him all the time. But yeah, no, he introduced me to the game, and I kind of just fell in love with it from there. I was playing with my town and like doing rec stuff. But once we started playing, I mean, the first time I really started playing seriously was probably AAU with
Mm-hmm.
you in like ninth grade and really like understanding the game. So I played with Bulls basketball club for 2 years. I think it
Mm-hmm.
was till I was in 10th grade. And then once COVID hit, um, I started playing with Jersey Force.
Uh
I had
huh.
a year with them. While I'm still doing all my high school stuff at Dumont, but started playing with Jersey Force, and that's kind of when my name started to get out there a little bit. I was starting to get some like low D1 offers from like FDU, Siena. Nothing was too big though. I wasn't like blowing up, but
Yeah.
probably I would say that year going into my senior year, still COVID summer. Started like working out at the park with my high school, and a guy named Oz Cross, who works for the New York Rams, kind of
Mm-hmm.
discovered me, and
So he found you at a park.
yeah, I was just hooping. He was with his kids, and like it was just it was just meant to be. Like I've never seen something like it sounds fake
Yeah,
almost,
it's like a
but
Cinderella story.
yeah. But
Yeah.
he found me, and he asked me to go to a workout with the Rams. Drove down to Long Island,
Mm-hmm.
was doing a workout. Once seeing all those guys, like I mean, we had Flip and Denver England, Roddy Gall, like high major
A bunch
guys.
of high major guys.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
once I saw like I could play with them, I was like, yeah, I really got to start taking this seriously and
Mm-hmm.
locking into
Yeah.
my craft and stuff. And I took off that summer, got like 20 D1 offers after Peace Jam. It was super cool
So you
experience.
went from literally nobody knowing your name to 20 D1 offers in a course of a year,
Yeah, like 9 months.
9 months.
Yeah, it was just
It's every kid's dream.
yeah, everything just
Yeah.
was just going to line. But then it was a super dope experience, and I was still gonna go prep school at
Mm-hmm.
a school called Bridgeton Academy because I just wanted to take a year. Like the recruiting was
Yeah.
also new to me and stuff.
Yeah.
That I was trying to like really figure out like, hey, where am I gonna go? What's gonna be the best fit? I still had 5 more visits to take.
Yeah.
But I think after that, you know, Overtime Elite called me when I was at at the prep school. And I was able to, have a good Zoom with them and
Mm-hmm.
the guy
You
Tim
just
Fuller,
fit.
and it just ended up working. I took a chance on myself with that, took a chance on them, and they took a chance on me, and worked out. That's where I
Yeah. It all
truly,
happened there.
yeah, that's where I
So
truly found the passion.
before all this happened, though, you went to St. Joe's for 1 year,
Yeah.
and we know you did 3 years at Dumont, right?
hmm
Right in Bergen County, where you grew up, your hometown.
Yeah.
So, tell me why you left St. Joe's freshman year.
Um, it was a lot on me. I made a lot of poor decisions during my freshman year, and it just wasn't the right fit. I feel like my personality and like some of the people their personality just didn't go together,
Mm-hmm.
and I really wasn't like sure of myself yet, and I didn't have that confidence, so I kind of folded under the pressure of like leaving my town and having expectations.
Yeah, no, for sure. So Dumont, you felt more comfortable, obviously, in your
Mm,
home area. You grew up
Yeah.
with everybody. So, did 3 years there. How was that?
I mean, that was an amazing experience. My coach, Coach Kenny,
Mm-hmm.
really like just taught me like what work is and how to be a good teammate and how to be a tough kid. Like that's probably the main thing that he really taught me. Just really like locking in and just being a hard nosed player and like having a guard and not taking the easy way out on things.
Yeah, for sure. So, COVID happened, right?
Yeah.
Friends found you. going into COVID, it was going to be your senior year.
Mhm.
So explain how that worked at Dumont. Like, how many games did you have during the season? Like, was it
Yeah.
short?
No, it was short. We played 8 games.
8 games? Yeah. Because when
Mhm.
I was down at IMG, in Florida, they didn't really care about COVID for real.
Yeah.
Like they did not care about that shit
No,
for
for
real.
sure.
So it was just like we had a whole 40 game season, and it
Mhm.
was just when I see y'all playing like 8 games up here, I'm like, damn, like really messed up your high school like
Yeah,
career,
it
like
was
the last bit of it.
just different, like, no stands, like, nobody's in the crowd. It was
Yeah,
just
it's like a practice.
dead. Yeah, it felt like scrimmages,
Yeah,
like, it was just so dead, and, like, I knew, like, I wish we had, fans and the students there because, like, that was the year we were supposed to take off, like, we were gonna win the state tournament. We had,
yeah,
like, a really good squad, like, a bunch of seniors, and I was killing.
yeah,
So I was just, like I was really excited for my senior year and for that to happen, like,
yeah,
it kinda crushed me a little bit.
yeah. So you decided to do a prep year, right?
Mhm.
So where'd you initially enroll yourself in?
Brisson Academy in
Okay,
Maine,
in Maine. So you said you were there for 2 days.
2 days.
2 days. And during that time, you started getting a bunch of calls from colleges wanting you that year.
Mhm.
You wanted, and then Overtime Elite, the new program, they hit your line.
Yeah.
So what made you go there?
A number of things, I mean, just the financial security,
Hmm.
that's like at the time that was life-changing money just for my mom, she working a bunch of jobs and stuff, and
Yeah.
it was really important for me to like be able to have her not worry about me no more.
Yeah.
Just focus on yourself. Like I'm gonna be good. And I just thought like the way that Tim Fuller pitched it, I was basically gonna be able to get in the gym whenever I wanted. I was gonna be able to focus on me. So however much hours I wanted to put in, I could, because I
Yeah.
wanted that freedom really badly. And I just thought it was a perfect fit because it was brand new and I was a brand new recruit basically in this scene. So I just thought it was like a match made in heaven.
Yeah. No, because when we played together freshman year, like I remember how hard your mom worked. She
Yeah,
did everything for you.
yeah,
And no, I commend her for that. And she definitely deserves everything that
no,
she's
for
gotten so
sure.
far. Yeah. So for those who like are not too familiar with like Overtime Elite, it's like a new program. People are like questioning it, like why are these kids going here to jeopardize like their college eligibility? Like,
Yeah.
tell us like the truth about Overtime Elite. Like, what does it provide for student athletes or
I
people like
think
want to go to the league?
it provides you a space where you realize that you're not going to be the best player. Because that's like in the NBA, you come in, you're not going to be the best player right away. It's
Hmm.
just, it doesn't work like that. So I think being able to go to overtime and really have to understand that there's a whole bunch of guys who are just as talented as me and want the same things that I do. I think that was really important for me to like see because I mean even at EYBL like I was still one of the best players there.
Yeah.
But, like going to overtime like it was like you're just playing with 5-star recruits basically, and like that was a challenge at first because everybody's as athletic as you and they all do a bunch of different things so well on the court. So I had to really learn what was going to make me different, and that was just working. Putting in more hours than everybody, and
Yeah.
focusing on my craft, watching film, making sure that I'm eating right and stuff. So
Hmm.
that's what kind of helped separate that for me. But I think what makes it so different from college is like the competition and practice that you get, not just the games. Because I mean, sometimes you play like high schools that you're gonna beat by 50 because your
Yeah.
team is just so much better than them. But I think the competition and practice every day, just seeing
It's
the best
competitive.
guys, is just
Yeah.
super competitive. And Kevin Ali just demanded the most out of us every day, and he treated us like grown men. And
Hmm.
I respect him for that because I think you need to see that.
Yeah. No, and playing with guys who are projected to be lotto picks in the draft, like
Yeah,
not you have to get better playing with them.
for
Like,
sure.
and yeah. So I don't think a lot of people see Overtime's vision all the time, but
Mhm.
like now that you're telling them how it is, and everything, they get a more clearer picture on how it
Yeah,
really is down there. And you're taking classes or no?
yeah. You take so I was a post grad, so I only
Mm-hmm.
had to take like postgraduate courses. So it was like I got to pick like a series of classes. So I did like financial literacy. I
Mm-hmm.
took one of those classes. I took a culinary class,
Yeah.
but I didn't have as much. Like if you're in high school, like you have to do like a high school curriculum.
Yeah.
So you do like your math, science, English,
Everything.
and it's
Yeah.
all like it's all custom to you. Like so, some people are like morning, like they like doing stuff in the morning.
Yeah.
Some people like in the afternoon. So
They adjust.
yeah, so I mean, I work at night, and like I'm be honest, I probably start my day later than most people. So like I would do my class in the afternoon, work at night, and like the mornings I have myself. Like
Yeah.
I can get up comfortably and all that stuff. So I loved it.
Yeah. Now I want to go back real quick to when like you were a freshman in high school.
Hmm.
Um, so when we played together, you were only 6'1",
Yeah.
right? And the year after that, I transferred schools.
Hmm.
I didn't have time for AU because I'm
Yeah,
in Florida.
for sure.
So then I see you the next year, next 2 years, and you grew to like 6'9".
Yeah.
So like tell like that's crazy. Like
Yeah.
talk us through like how like your body like how that went through with like that's a lot of inches
Yeah,
growing like
that's like I mean, it's a transit. You have to learn how to use your body
yeah.
again. So my whole sophomore year, like I was really just feeling out like things I was comfortable already doing and things that I wasn't comfortable doing, and
Yeah.
just trying to like grow strength in those areas and really focus on like my body development because I knew that was going to be important if I wanted to play in college.
Mhm.
So I mean, you just making sure you're icing on knees and stuff and doing physical therapy and all that, like really taking care of yourself because you can get hurt, especially growing that fast so
Yeah.
quickly. So like really have to kind of redirect your attention to not just okay, what am I doing in the courts and now what am I doing taking care of my body.
And especially like when you're 6'1", like there's a million kids 6'1",
Yeah,
and then you already had the it's kind of a blessing because you already had the guard skills
yeah,
from when you were 6'1", and now you're almost 6'10" or 6'10", and you have all the guard skills that you had when you was younger. Now you can implement it in your game right now.
yeah.
So it's a blessing.
Yeah, I feel
And
like that's something that makes me different as a player. Is like I've been so used to like just guarding guards my whole life and
yeah,
having to like beat people with the first step and stuff like that. That when I get like a big on the floor, like a 7-footer that's like a little bit slower than me, I know just I'm just comfortable like taking him off the dribble or like getting to certain areas.
hmm
And like when I get switched onto a guard in the pick and roll, I'm just so comfortable guarding the guard. Like
yeah,
I feel like people at my size don't move like the way I move when I'm guarding. So I feel like that's a huge advantage.
yeah. So obviously, when you're a freshman, you were unknown for 4 years, right? So
Yeah,
you went from unranked to 4 stars.
yeah,
So unranked to 4 stars, for go college, OTE,
hmm,
and now you enter the NBA draft.
yeah.
So what's that process like? How were you ready? Do you think did you feel that you were immediately ready? Like right after 1 year at OTE, you didn't feel like you needed another year?
Um, I thought I was ready, but I knew like I would have to see guys
Mm-hmm.
in workouts to really know if I was ready.
Yeah.
So I got out to LA to do my pre-draft with my agency about April, and it was me, Kofi Cockburn, Andrew Nemhard, Terquavion Smith, and Adam Flagler. So we had like 6 guys. So I was just super excited to get on the court with them just to see like how do I compare to the college kids, and I thought
Mm-hmm.
I was right there with them. So I had like no regret. I thought OT did a great job in that aspect of really getting me ready.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that process is a grind. I mean, I did 19 pre-draft workouts, so going to a different
19.
19, yeah. So you go to a
Wow.
different city,
That
the
shit's probably
workouts,
really stressful too.
yeah, and then you got the combine, and the workouts is like you go in early and you do like 2 hours of medical stuff and like physical testing. And then you got the encore. Then you have like an interview after. You have like a 30-minute interview.
Yeah.
And then if you have a workout the next day, you gotta just get in a plane, go, and you might get in the city at like 2 in the morning.
So
So,
the agency covers all
yeah,
flights and everything for you. You
yeah,
just gotta show up.
they cover everything for you.
Okay. So that happened in what month? That was April.
That was like April to probably like the beginning of June.
Then you went out to Chicago.
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
combine. We had combine in May.
How'd that go?
I mean, that was a dope experience, but like the media aspect of it, you don't realize how big that is until like you're really there. Like
Mm-hmm.
we had like the first day, like 6 hours of media. And like I just wasn't used to that, even being at overtime where we do a lot of
Yeah.
media in general. So it was just a lot. Like your brain's just all over the place. I mean, you're seeing everybody. You have every NBA personnel in the building. You see
Yeah.
as a kid, all the coaches is there that aren't like coaching the playoffs. So it was like just a wild experience to just see him be on that NBA court for the first time. It was super dope though.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. So now you finish the draft combine, all that, all the
Mhm.
workouts. Now you're preparing for draft night.
Yeah,
Um that's literally every kid's dream to wear a suit,
yeah,
get ready in right near your home state, family, friends popping out for you. Like describe that feeling, like just preparing for it and then having all like your loved ones, your friends, like all the people who supported you throughout the years, like all the people who seen when you was down, when you had no offers, nobody wanted you, and now you have NBA teams wanting to give you
yeah.
opportunity. So like talk about that feeling.
Just a surreal moment in time. Like that whole day was just such a blur.
Yeah.
Like just so much excitement. I mean, the first it doesn't. You don't have to go to the like actual. Because I had a venue, so I didn't have to go there till like 6 o'clock. I was pretty much just chilling the first half of the day. Like I went to the park, a hoop with my friends. Like went to the mall. Like just did normal stuff. But
Normal
it was
shit,
just
yeah.
like that was like still in the back of my mind. I tried to like hide it and play it off, but I was just thinking about that the whole night. And once I finally got there, and all my friends was there, and they were just like so happy, and I could just see how proud of me they were. It was just that's like a moment I'll never forget.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. Like 6 o'clock, you get there,
Yeah,
and it's a venue like a bar, club,
yeah, pretty,
restaurant
yeah,
type vibe.
hmm
So now the draft starts at 7,
7 or 8, something
7 or
like
8.
that. Yeah,
Okay, so draft starts. You getting phone calls from your agent. Your agent's with you.
yeah. My agent was with me.
Agent was with you. All right, so um, you're getting calls from teams,
Hmm.
and you wanted to obviously make sure the fit of whatever team you go to is
For
like the
sure,
best opportunity for you,
for
right?
sure.
Like for the long run, you're trying to look long term, right?
Yeah.
So, talk about the phone calls you were getting, the decision you made with your agent, and all that.
Yeah, so I pretty much knew that like the teams that were interested in me
Hmm.
and like where I was gonna go based on that. So we got to pick like the first realistic pick I thought I was gonna go was like 40, I think it was 44. New Orleans had their second round pick, and then the pick after that, Minnesota. So those are the two teams I thought I was going to. But
Hmm.
then EJ Liddell, he slipped in the draft, and New Orleans called my agent and told them like, hey, pretty much we're gonna take him. We didn't think he was gonna be here. And then Minnesota traded that pick. So then I was kind of like, okay, I don't know where I'm going to go from here. But once you get to like the 50s, you have like great teams, and you're especially like where you're coming into the NBA. Like you have like these playoff teams, so it's kind of hard to really assess like what's my role going to be here. So I had a team, Golden State at 55 and Portland at 58,
Hmm.
told me that like, hey, we're going to pick Dom, but for me it didn't make sense because I just thought I don't know if I'm going to play here. And I know Steph and all those guys, they're competing for a championship. They don't have time to
You don't have
develop
time to
young
develop a
talent.
player.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then Dame is, when you see his situation now, but he was
you don't
starting
know
to
what's
get
gonna
antsy
happen.
about like
Yeah.
wanting to compete really. So, and they didn't have a G League team, Portland at the time. So
So
kind of just had to work out there and like not play. So I didn't think it was the right fit. So I
so
decided to, tell
yeah.
my agent, let's just go off. Let's like see the options that we have as two-way because he was getting those calls all night. But yeah, so that's pretty much what I decided to do.
So you gave up your opportunity to hear your name called at the draft,
Mhm.
to go undrafted,
Yeah.
and it wasn't. You had teams willing to take you, definitely, right?
Yeah,
It
like
wasn't.
right away.
Yeah, right away. Yeah, because I feel like a lot of players who are in your position, like they would want to hear their name called, and they would just go based on that.
For sure.
But it's like it's smart that you took a route that many like it's like unselfish. Like you put yourself and your best interests ahead of you, and like
Yeah,
yeah, like a lot of people just do it just for the picture, shaking the commissioner's hand,
for
and
sure.
yeah, but um, now San Antonio gives you a call.
Mhm.
that video went viral.
Yeah.
Um, describe that moment of the call. Like your mom was with you, your friends. Like
Mhm.
just describe the feeling, like the the
It
reaction.
was it was like more of a shock at first because San Antonio was my second workout that I did, and I like bombed it. It was one of the worst workouts I've
Oh
ever had
shit.
in my life. I
Yeah.
couldn't make a shot. I was exhausted the whole time. Like I didn't even think it was a possibility. So once my agent told me like San Antonio really wants you, and I was like, I kind of told me like the logistics of like why and stuff. I was just one like shocked that they wanted me, but two like just super excited because I knew right away like that's Coach Pop and their
Yeah.
development system that they have is amazing, and I was just excited for my mom, seeing the look on her face and all my friends, they didn't even know San Antonio was a possibility, so it kind of surprised them too. So it was
Yeah.
just a dope moment.
No. Yeah. So after that phone call, you celebrate with your friends, your family, whatever, right? So do you go down the next day, like to San Antonio? Like how does that work?
No, so if you're like a first round pick, you usually fly in like that next night.
That next night.
But they told me, take the day, enjoy with your friends and family. So
Yeah.
I hung out with my friends the whole day. We had a great time. Went to the beach in the morning.
Yeah.
Came back, went over to some friends' house. We had a good time. But yeah, so that next day after that, I flew in. Um, had to do some media stuff. Had to do my physicals and all that. But I mean, once you finish that, you're pretty much there, and like you're working out, you're
Yeah.
practicing, you're getting
Starts
ready to go.
immediately.
Yeah,
Yeah. So and you were the first ever overtime elite player selected to play in the NBA, right?
hmm
So to have that like on your resume, you have kids who are at overtime elite right now looking up to you,
yeah,
like gives them hope that they can do it. And you've seen it this year. Like you got two back to back in the lotto with Amen and Asar.
yeah.
So
Sure.
that must have been crazy.
Yeah, it's dope just kind of, seeing all those guys now and, how they ask me questions about like what the league is like and what my day to day looks like. I mean,
Yeah.
it's super cool just being able to help some of those guys, try to reach their dreams too.
Yeah. So talk to me about your like first week in San Antonio. Like, were you able to meet like the legends, Tony, Manu, Tim, all them? Like, did they give you wisdom as soon as you came? Like, how was that?
Yeah, so I had a conversation with Manu pretty much right away because he still works in the building. So I mean, it was great just being able to talk to him, and he's kind of just picking his brain on like, you know, how did you make it
Unlimited
work?
knowledge with these
They're
guys.
super,
Yeah.
super smart. I mean, won 4, 5 championships. So I mean, he knows what it takes to really be a player, and he's a second round draft pick, kind of in the range of player that kind of I was. So
Yeah.
I'm really just picking his brain, like, how did you, come in right away and just
Make an impact.
make an impact? Yeah, he's just
Yeah.
giving me all that knowledge, and it was great. I didn't meet Tony or Tim till later. I actually met Tony earlier in that year at
Hmm.
Overtime Elite. He came
Yeah.
down, and that was super cool. But yeah, I met Tim probably say August when we
August.
were like doing some open run stuff, and
Yeah.
uh, another person just super wise and yes, unlimited knowledge of the game and about life in general.
Yeah. No, it's great to be around all them, and obviously, Coach Pop. Like, tell me about the knowledge he gave you. What it's like being around him. All that.
Yeah, so Coach Pop like won't acknowledge you until like he sees something like he could work with. So he didn't really talk to any of the rookies at first. And then like once we started doing the open runs and I had a couple good runs for myself, came up to me and just like, good job. Like and then he just starting to tell you like areas of your game you need to improve. So
Yeah.
I was really like appreciative just on feel like I earned his respect and I guess he sees me as somebody who can help his team win. So that was huge for me.
Yeah. No, for sure. So the Spurs signed you to a two-way contract.
Yeah.
So you're spending time with Austin and San Antonio. So you're going back and forth. Talk to me about like the stress um, that you have being a two-way player, always trying to be perfect. Like I know you're a rookie, but
Yeah.
you want to like perfect what you're doing, and it's definitely a lot of stress because in the NBA, it's literally like they can. cut you like that
cut you
to
immediately.
business. So
Yeah.
talk to me about like the stress, like how was it?
Yeah,
All that.
and being on two-way, like your money is not guaranteed. So if you get cut, like that's just it. Like you just have to hope for a new team to pick
Yeah.
you up. So that was like the biggest stress for me. Just you know understanding that I have a shorter leash than a lot of other people. So I have to come in and work, just work consistently and every day. Got to be the same. Can't be lapses. And I knew like on court basketball, it's never always going to be perfect, but try to be control the things I can control, like my effort, guarding guys, really talking on defense, and just being in
Yeah.
the right spots on offense. Because you hooping, so like like you have games where shots just don't fall.
Yeah.
So what can you do to impact the game if you're not shooting the ball well?
Yeah. So um the Spurs, they can call you up at any time when they need you, right?
Yeah,
So towards the end of the season, you started getting a lot more minutes, more
yeah,
opportunities. Um, talk me through that big game you had. It was 21-19, right?
yeah. In
Yeah.
Dallas,
Talk to me about that feeling, like, because a lot of people obviously still don't fully know who you are,
yeah,
100%, and you're trying to prove to the world that look, I'm meant to be here, right?
for sure.
So it's like when you see that stat line, obviously a lot of media pages is posting that stat line. Like, talk to me about like that game and the confidence it gave you to keep going.
Yeah, last game of the season, you know, I knew certain guys are not going to want to play.
Yeah.
I know like both of our teams were out of the playoffs, and it's an afternoon game on a Sunday, so it was just a weird kind of environment. I knew like if I come in right away and I'm 100% locked in, like I could have a good game. But it was like super cool. Just my dream, my whole life has been to be in the NBA.
Yeah.
Just having a positive game like that, where I really like had that game, especially to end the season. Like I belong here. Like I know I can play. That was great going into the off season. Just knowing like the work I'm doing is not for nothing. Like
Yeah.
I can if I
Showing.
commit to this, like just keep having those building blocks, I could really stay in the league for a long time.
Yeah, no, for sure. So, what was your first game? Like, who was your first game against? And describe me how that went
Yeah.
and the feelings throughout the whole night.
So our first game that I got into, we played Toronto, and we were getting killed.
That was
They,
in the middle of the season,
nah, this was early in the season.
early
This
in the
was
season.
like this was probably I think October and November.
Hmm.
Yeah, we had a bad game. We couldn't make any shots. They were hitting everything, and I come in like end of the third quarter, and I was so nervous. I've never been so nervous playing basketball like that because
Yeah.
I've done it my whole life, and I've always been super comfortable with it. But I was so nervous, and my brain was racing. And once your brain starts racing, you get tired faster. So those two first minutes felt like the longest thing of my life. I felt like I couldn't do anything right, and I missed I was like 1 for 4. Got beat on defense like 3, 4 times, had a turnover. It was just a rough experience, and I was like, just felt so much different than anything I've ever been through in my life.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then, like, it's your first game. Like, those are normal reactions. And,
Yeah,
like, people, they expect, like, NBA players to be superhuman.
yeah,
Like, you're not regular people. Like, you still go through the same emotions as a normal person.
not for
Like,
sure.
doing a regular 9 to 5 job. It's the same thing, it's just in a different perspective.
Yeah,
So it's like, I don't think a lot of people understand the stress and, like, the preparation for that. But we saw that you got way more comfortable during the year. And just talk to me how, like, the G League playing there, like, helped you become more comfortable with your game and got you better.
yeah, because I think the biggest thing for me was like just getting more reps playing grown men.
Yeah.
And I mean, the G League has a bunch of dogs that are looking for jobs. So it was a great place for me to like really compete every day and understand like this is a business and these guys want it just as badly as I want it. So I got to find something that, separates me. And I struggled in the G League
Yeah.
at first. I had like a rough first 2 months, and I kind of didn't know like, hey, are they going to cut me or like what's going on? But I was able, after we had the showcase, like right before Christmas,
Yeah.
the second half of the season, I really was able to find my rhythm and I learned areas of the game where I could be comfortable in, and shooting mid ranges and getting to the corner, cuts, transition, all that
Yeah.
stuff, screening and rolling, and just realizing like, hey, I'm still like one of the best athletes out here. Like,
You're meant to be here.
yeah, I'm supposed to be here. And once I kind of got that confidence in myself,
Yeah.
I was really able to like take off, and my numbers went up
Hmm.
crazy. And the coaching staff, I started getting those texts from the Spurs staff like, hey, like you're doing a great job, just keep doing your thing, and that also helped me. So,
Yeah. So the G League was a blessing
no, for
because
sure,
yeah, like you
it's
learn so much.
super important for a
Yeah.
lot of young guys. Unless you're like a top five pick, you're most likely going to spend some time in the G
Sometimes.
League.
Yeah.
So, kind of got to understand that it's not like a demotion; it's only to help you.
Yeah. And I
So,
don't think the outside world really thinks of it from that perspective.
not at
Like
all.
I feel like a lot of people think, oh, all right, he's in the G League, he's not that good.
Yeah,
But it's really to prepare you to excel when you get that one chance because you may only get one chance in the NBA.
for sure.
And if you spend all those reps in the G League and keep going and going and going, like it's gonna pay off.
Yeah,
But you need to do all that work for them.
like Gary Payne played in the G League. I think it was like 7 years
Yeah.
before finally got his chance in Golden State and flourished. So, it's different for everybody. Some guys need to play a week in the G League and they're good. Some guys it takes damn near a decade.
Yeah, everybody's route's different.
Yeah,
And we seen how your route was different from everybody from like your story is very unique. Like a lot of people don't grow 9 inches and still have the ability to play as a guard
mm,
and then get a chance to make the NBA after 1 year of being a pro at Overtime Elite.
yeah,
So it's like all that must have been like a blur. Like it's just
for sure.
surreal that like because I picture you like I haven't seen you in 2 years, 3 years, and I think of 6'1" Dom, Goofy Dom,
Yeah.
like that's what I think of. And then now like it's just crazy to see the progression of like who you are now, and it's
Yeah.
just a lot changes.
I think the best thing about my story though is because it's so unique, I really couldn't like ask anybody like, hey, what should I do here? I kind of just had to figure it out.
And nobody been through it. Yeah,
Nobody went to overtime elite. I played 1 year at EYBL. That's like my first time playing really high major
yeah,
guys. So I kind of just had to figure it out on the fly. And I think that helped me my rookie year because when I struggled a little bit, I didn't like fold or collapse. I just
yeah,
able to put my head down because I've been in situations before where I didn't have anybody to really go to.
yeah. No, for sure. So now when you're in the NBA, what would you say? You're like, all right, I'm in the NBA. Like, what's your welcome to the league moment? Like, what was that
It was like
experience?
late in the year probably played Milwaukee and Giannis, all them, and we did guard. I did guard Giannis for like the 2 plays, and he's so much bigger than he looks on TV and so
Uh huh.
much faster. And he coming like our whole thing was to send him middle,
Yeah.
so we had help, and he did that throw cross dribble that he'd be doing twice in a row on me. Got 2 and 1s. Pop just like called me, like took me out of the game, basically like just rip it into me. And I was like, I didn't have an answer for him because I didn't know what I could have done in that situation. Because I feel like even if I forced him middle, he beat me so like it was so apparent how quickly he beat me. Like could have just dunked the ball. So it was the first time in my life where I was like, there's nothing I can do right now. So I was like, yeah, I have to. So I definitely was lifting some weights after that game and you know realizing like, that's I got to see that if I want to be the best.
Yeah. So in your first year in the league, Giannis was the hardest player you had to guard.
Giannis, KD, and Embiid, probably those three.
KD must have been crazy.
Yeah, he kind of had. The thing about KD is like, for me personally, I wasn't so much him like just cooking you. He has like spots in the court that he's going to get to regardless,
Yeah.
and you just have to contest and hope he misses. So it's not predicated on you really playing great defense. Like you can be physical with him, you can try to do all that stuff, but he's gonna still get to that spot. He's gonna shoot the same shot every time. So
Yeah.
you gotta just contest and really hope he miss. So that was difficult for me. Like I can't really do nothing with him. Like I gotta hope he misses with his
Yeah.
stuff.
So wait, who growing up though, who was your favorite NBA player?
Paul George.
Paul George. And you probably didn't get a chance to play him though, right? Because he was injured. Or did you get a chance?
No, We played
You
Paul
played him
George. Yeah, early in the season we
early in
went
the
to LA.
season. That feeling must have been insane.
No,
Just seeing him.
super dope. It's like starstruck almost, cause
Yeah.
like
Playing
you
2K
just
with them.
you just looking at him. I'm just looking at him like on the bench, like yo, that's like my favorite player. And when you get in the game though, you gotta like be like yo, like this isn't just your favorite player no more. Like he's trying to take money from you basically. He's trying to
Yeah. You have the
keep
same
you
job as
trying.
him
Yeah,
now.
we have the same job. Like
Like,
my job is to guard him, man.
yeah, to think that you have the same job as like LeBron,
Yeah,
KD, like all these guys that you looked up to growing up, it's just a surreal feeling.
yeah,
Like, can never get old.
never. It's just can't like undervalue it, but you can't like admire people, but you can't like undervalue it. Like I found
Yeah.
a common ground where I could be like, yo, that's KD,
Mm.
that's Braun, but I'm right here with you. Like I have to guard you, and me guarding you is gonna help
Yeah.
me make money. So
Mm. I want to ask you this. So, in the NBA, who's that one player that you watched growing up? You was like, he ain't all that. But then once you really got in the league, that you saw that like he could hoop. Like who's that? Who's that one player?
probably, I mean, I'm not gonna say I watched him like when I was younger, but Taylor Horton Tucker,
Mm.
he was cold as hell. He gave us like 37, 38, and it was
Taylor's tough.
so casual. Like he's doing mixing us like it's the park. And I was like, damn, like I did not think he was like this. 'Cause, I mean, he just got traded from the Lakers, and
Yeah, he slept on.
yeah, for sure. There's a bunch of guys like that.
Yeah,
Karis LeVert, another one, just a bucket getter. Like
yeah,
you wouldn't think like that nice, but he has everything. 6'8" guard.
yeah. And off camera, you mentioned your favorite team growing up was the Heat, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So tell me like about that experience.
Yeah, I think like it's hard because the Heat and Spurs were like rivals
Yeah,
during those series. So like it was cool like being in Miami, and I didn't play that game, but just being there and seeing the
yeah,
environment that I loved as a kid, but also I'm with San Antonio, and I know like my head coach kind of, he definitely feels some type of way about, their that team, and
yeah.
we've been through so many battles with them. So, in my head I'm like, let me not be a fan right now, but I
You
gotta
lock
like
in.
take
Yeah,
my teams back. But it was hard because like I loved them growing up. I have so many different Heat jerseys, and I mean I was a
yeah,
fan with them basically until this year. So
yeah.
it was kind of hard.
Hmm. So now your rookie season's done.
Yeah.
Um, now you get some time off. You can prepare for summer league. You got going. Now you got the lottery pick draw.
Mhm.
So you guys got the number one pick in the draft,
Yeah.
and everybody's saying Victor Wembanyama, right?
Yeah.
Going number one. Talk to me about the impact that you had playing with Victor and being alongside him, like all the attention, the media, how to help your game, how to get
Yeah.
your name out there more.
For sure.
Talk about all that.
I think Vic is a great person. First off,
Mm-hmm.
great dude, really hard worker. But it's just something you've never seen before. You don't really have a reference point on how to play with somebody like that.
So in person, like when you first saw him, like was he really that big?
Yeah, he's
We
legit
saw the
like
flick,
seven
like
five. Like the first time I met him, he came into like a little eating area,
mhm.
and I was like going out the hallway, and he's walking through the door to come in. Like I remember just looking up at him, like, damn, bro,
God
I've
damn.
never seen nothing like that.
Yeah,
Like on the court, I mean, he's super talented, but I feel like it's a new game. It's a little bit different than what European basketball is. European basketball is still great, but the NBA is just a different animal. I think he's getting adjusted to that really quickly and asking all the right questions. And I remember he asking me like, I'm an undrafted guy. He's the number one pick, like face of the franchise basically now, and he's asking me questions about like, hey, what should I do here? You know, am I taking the right shot here? Which I was just super impressed with.
so Victor was treating you like a vet.
Yeah, and like we're the same age, and
Yeah.
it was like it was pretty cool to see somebody like that humble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
because you'd
has
expect the number one pick to
could have
be
every reason not to
yeah,
be.
cocky and everything, but he's the
Yeah,
opposite of that.
but playing with him
Yeah,
definitely helped because I mean we had cameras everywhere. I remember the first game we're in the tunnel like about to warm up and it's 20 ESPN cameras just following him around and it's like I don't know how he handles that type of pressure. One as a 19-year-old kid, but in my mind I'm like I'm in year two. Let me go kill like get my name out there. And,
yeah,
I had a really good summer. Had some big games and pretty consistent throughout the whole time. So I think
yeah. You
him
got
being there
some
really just
good
helped
game.
me. Yeah,
Yeah, with all that like attention on him, like you're showing out, you're doing your thing. Like now people are hearing like, oh, who's Dominick Barlow? Like, why didn't
yeah,
we hear about him before?
for sure.
And now your name's starting to pick up and everything. But it's just like playing with Victor is just like you have to play through him. You want to say? Would you say that, or would you say that you more?
I wouldn't say through him. I just say like you've never seen somebody 7'5"
Yeah,
ISOing at the top of the key.
because
So
the
we
media,
had
yeah,
yes,
the media would say that like people on the team have to learn how to play through him. But you
yeah.
disagree with that statement?
I think like no, he definitely the level of player that you could play through.
Yeah,
I just think like it's almost on us sometimes to because we gotta still keep moving on offense and run everything. But we had times in summer league where I mean we fans of the game too. We
yeah,
watching him ISOing in the middle of the game and we're not moving because we just want to see like but like what's gonna happen. And I think we got caught up in doing that sometimes. So I feel like the second game was on all of us to really make his life as easy as possible. And he came out, had a great game and super
yeah.
dominant.
No, for sure. And clearly, like the stats show, people who watch the games know like you had a great performance throughout the whole summer league.
Hmm.
Like, talk to me about how you prepared yourself way more this year for your second summer league than your
Yeah,
first, and compare the two and be like, show your emotions
for
about
sure.
that.
So like my goal in the summer league was just how can I get my conditioning to game light as fast as I can? Because
Yeah,
you get 2 months, you got to take some time off because you don't want to have a risk of injury going into next season. So I took 2 weeks off right after this season. And I was still doing like treatment stuff, but I wasn't playing no basketball,
get no
not
shots
running, no,
up.
not. I mean, I got some like stationary shooting,
Yeah,
but like no movement, like everything close to the basket, just touch stuff. But I think once I was able to get over that and get through the rest, I just hit it hard. I was running hills and going to the track, 1, 2 workouts a day, lifting weights, like eating the right food, really take care of
because that
myself.
contract not guaranteed still. It's
Yeah,
like
so you got to really show like I knew like got a bad summer league, they could want to go a different direction, and
yeah,
I definitely didn't want to let that happen. I just wanted to prove to myself that like
you're meant to
I'm
be
not
there.
the
Yeah.
same guy that came in as a rookie and was inexperienced. I'm like this is my time now. I got to make that jump, and
Yeah.
I think I did.
Yeah, and over time, whenever they post them, they're always like Dom, hardest worker in basketball,
Yeah,
and having that on your name, and then people who see you the first year and see you the second year, like it shows that that statement's true.
yeah,
Like the amount that the G League prepared you for, being around Pop, being around all the legends, you have like unlimited sources of
yeah,
like knowledge at your
sure.
disposal, and you have to utilize it. It's
Yeah,
like you don't have an option.
yeah, you gotta
You're
take
only gonna get better.
yeah, you gotta take advantage of
Mhm.
every resource that you're given.
Yeah,
Obviously, everybody's situation is different. I mean, I've been in situations where I've only had a basketball and a hoop. Like that was my resource.
yeah.
I mean, now having all these people and best facilities and food as your resource the whole time, and you can basically live at the practice facility. Like, I never want to be in a position where I didn't make it because I didn't work hard.
Mhm.
Like, if
Yeah.
I reach my capacity to what I am at basketball and
I
I
want to say
can't get
you
any
gave it
better,
your all.
yeah, I want to say I gave 100% everything. I
Yeah.
don't ever want to be like, I
And
could have done this, I could have done that. Like, if I
that goes
reach my limit, that's it.
that goes with everything in life too. Like if you're doing your job, like you want to say you gave everything you had, and
Yeah,
if the company fires you, I can't do nothing about it. I gave everything I
not
had.
for sure.
Yeah.
Like, that's just anything in life. Just make sure you working. Like,
Hmm.
that's if you working and things don't work out, that's wasn't meant to be. Like, you
Yeah.
can live with that, but you can't live with not giving everything you have.
Yeah. No, for sure. Um, Now you're just taking time off, seeing your family, friends, all that before you head out
Yeah.
in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
2 weeks. Okay. Let's just go back a little more.
Mhm.
Like as I said earlier, like you were unranked,
Yeah.
like unknown. Um, it's hard to gain confidence as a young child. Like everybody who plays basketball for the most part is like, I want to make the league. I want to
Yeah.
be in the NBA. Like, talk about how hard you worked and the struggles and all that, because I don't think people see the the path that it took, because people
Mhm.
kind of just know your name now because you made it now.
Yeah.
But I don't think a lot of people know like Dom.
Mhm.
Like, talk to me about like how hard it was, like throughout your childhood, like the pressure of that, everything.
Yeah. I mean, I think being ranked late was the best thing that could have happened for me
Hmm.
because I was just a normal person. I feel like
Yeah.
when guys like are ranked when they're in seventh, eighth grade, like you almost become a celebrity,
Yeah.
and that's like the last thing that you want if you're trying to get better at basketball because your brain's gonna be all over the place.
Yeah.
But the work is just has to be consistent and it's got to be real. Like you can't just go to the gym and you know play pickup with some dudes at the YMCA for a little bit and like
Yeah.
think that that's really worth like even if you don't have those resources, like I would watch YouTube videos, just guys like Steph Curry, Braun, like working out and just trying to replicate some of the stuff that they're doing in their workouts and making sure that I was always in shape no matter what. You know, it's it's hard though because when you're like putting in all that time, that effort, you're not seeing your name on these websites and nobody knows who you are and
Yeah. And
you're
then
still putting out the good product, but you're not getting rewarded for it almost. It's like it gets frustrating at times, especially as a young kid because
yeah.
you haven't really been through adversity yet. But I think I was able to overcome that and the only thing that changed about me was the situation I was in.
Yeah.
I was prepared for the situation for like it happened senior year, but I was prepared, in my opinion, beginning of my junior year. Like I was already locked in. I was already that player. I just
Mm.
need the opportunity, and it sucks because not everybody does get that opportunity. But I knew like once I got it, like I was going to be ready to take full advantage of it.
Yeah. No, for sure. And like I just remember when we played together, it was like a completely, you're the same Dom, but it's just like everything in your life changed and all
Yeah,
that. And it's just like the adjustment had to be made like overnight. Like
for
all this
sure.
happened like so quick. And like most people's recruiting process starts 9th, 10th grade. And like you had no offers back then.
Yeah,
And there's kids out there who are in a similar position as you, no offers, and they start to lose hope. They're like, I can't make the league. It's
mhm,
already, I'm in 12th grade, I have
yeah.
no offers. Like, give your message to kids who are in a similar position to you who want to make it to the level you're at. And like, because you show them that it's not impossible.
For
And
sure.
now they hear your story. You got millions of kids all over the world who are like you when they
Yeah.
were younger, wanting to be in your position. So, talk to me about like a message that you would give to people in your position.
If I can give one message to anybody, I would just tell people to give it another week. Like if you feel like you're about to quit, give it another week.
Mhm.
And if you make progress in that week, give it another week. And then just keep it going. And if you have that sense of urgency, like I'm gonna try to do everything I want in a week.
Yeah.
And then you just keep that going like that. And you set goals for yourself in that week and you have to achieve it. I think you'll make rapid progress. I don't know how familiar you are with the Jason Preston story.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
know
for
Jason a
sure.
little bit.
Yeah.
He's a dude that averaged 3 points a game. So, when he was in high school and he's sending out his, highlight mixes and
Yeah.
stuff like that after averaging 3 points a game, and he sent it out on Twitter to Ohio and, blew up from there. Was able to get a Division One offer after averaging 3 points a game on a
He
C team at a
he
prep school.
literally enrolled as a regular
Yeah,
student at UCF, and
yeah,
then well, he played on the C team, right,
yeah.
of an AU tournament
He was on the C team of a
of
prep
a prep
school,
school, and then
and then eventually got to an A team, and
sending out
then
his film on
sending us
Twitter
him to
throughout
Ohio.
Ohio.
So
Yeah.
he's somebody. He's another person that you know just he gave it, another AU tournament, and
Yeah.
after that, he just, just kept working. But I think if you set goals in smaller increments of time, I think you'll be able to achieve, the big picture
Yeah.
much faster than if you just say, "Hey, I want to get to the NBA." That's such a huge goal, and it's like there's only been 5,000 players to ever step on an NBA court. It's like extremely difficult. But if you can speed that process up by, saying, "Hey, I want to be able to shoot this percentage from three by the end of the week." Let's say I want to improve my 3-point percentage. If I'm shooting 100 shots and I'm making 60,
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to shoot 65 by the end of the week.
Yeah.
You can do that, and over the
Progress.
course of the
Yeah.
year,
Be
you'll
straight.
see rapid improvement.
Yeah. Not for sure. And it's good that like you didn't have the looks when you were younger because
Yeah.
it made you work harder. Because you could have easily stopped and
For
been
sure.
like, look, let me just be a regular college student,
No, for sure.
whatever. But now you kept going and you gave it that other week.
Mhm.
So I commend you on that.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. So now I'm just gonna ask you like a few more like fun questions,
For sure.
like just to get to know you for real. Um, who was your favorite NBA player to be like, I'm here, besides Paul George? Because we already mentioned that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like LeBron, KD. Like, was it somebody like
Yeah,
that?
probably
Or
Braun.
Bron?
Yeah, I think in my opinion, he's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT?
So it's just like, he has like this aura around him that's like almost otherworldly. It's ridiculous. Like, he seems like he's bigger than basketball almost. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. So you played him. Did he come to San Antonio or you went
We
out
went
to
to
LA?
yeah, we went to LA.
You went out to LA?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a legendary court. Like,
It's like the Met Gala.
yeah.
That's the only arena there. It feels like fashion celebrity show. I mean, everybody's always out there, and it's different. Like, we played the Clippers and then we played the Lakers back to back, and it was just completely different atmosphere. Like, the Clippers was like the normal basketball game, like fun, the kids out
Yeah.
there, but LA was like, man, I've never seen nothing like that.
Yeah. So that was you think that's your favorite arena?
Yeah, probably that, LA or Boston. Boston just
Yeah,
it
Boston's
just
probably
feels
crazy.
just feels historic.
Did you get a chance to come home and play?
Nah, I was with the G League.
With the G League at the time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to go to MSG.
That one's gonna hit.
For sure.
Probably tears gonna come out for sure.
Yeah. I'm good. Super excited for that.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. If you have to take one celebrity out on a date, what would it be?
Zendaya.
Zendaya?
Yeah, that's been my crush for a
I think it
minute.
was you've been saying that for a minute.
Yeah, I've been saying that for a minute. So if I got the chance, Tessa Thompson, you know Tessa Thompson? Yeah, her too. All right, them two right there.
Mm-hmm. All right. Top 5 music artists.
See, I like listening to rap, but like I also listen to a lot of R&B, so my
Mhm.
list gonna be all over the place. But
Alright.
just right now, Brent Fayez, Lil Baby, Summer Walker, Drake for sure,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd have a last one. I don't know. I'd probably say like maybe Gunna right now because the album was tough.
Yeah, the album's OD.
His album was tough, but Gunna or Young Boy
Young Boy.
probably for the last spot. They're
Yeah.
interchangeable.
Heard you. Yeah. Next question. Who is your top 5 NBA players all time?
All time, Braun 1, MJ 2.
You hesitated on that one.
Yeah, no, MJ gotta be 2. Kobe 3. I'll put Magic at 4, and then Kareem at 5.
Did Kobe play a big part in your life?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just watching, videos of him, just in interviews of him talking about the work. There was like a Jimmy Fallon interview where he's talking about after he tore his Achilles,
Yeah.
and it was just like the most motivational thing I've ever seen in my life. So I was like, now I always will respect Kobe Bryant forever, just how committed he was to the game and how committed he was to just getting better.
Mm-hmm. No, that's tough. No, Kobe, like he touched everybody
Yeah,
and like his work ethic. So I feel like you replicate a lot of how he was.
for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
He's definitely the gold standard when it comes to that.
Yeah, top tier. Yeah. All right, next question. I gotta say, what's your best purchase you made since you've been in the league?
Best purchase I have made was beside like the essentials like the car and apartment. Probably I have a Gucci backpack.
Gucci backpack.
I
Yeah, I see you be rocking that
I
everywhere.
wear it everywhere all the time, no matter what I'm wearing. It's got just enough space for me. Like I can carry pretty much anything in it at all times. So that's probably the best purchase I made. I've probably used it the most.
And if you were to be doing something other than basketball right now, um, what would that be
Probably something in culinary. I love food.
in culinary?
Yeah, I'm definitely like I've been taking. I
You be
took a
watching those shows,
yeah, like Hell's Kitchen, all that stuff.
Chop,
So
all that.
yeah,
Yeah,
so I'm big into like cooking. Obviously, I've been learning how to cook a little bit more. So I've been, I'll probably do something like that. Head chef on a restaurant or something. But I definitely try to get into culinary.
yeah. I'm trying to do that too, bro. I just get do it.
It's hard. Nah, cooking is hard.
I be watching those YouTube tutorials. I'm like,
It's
got
hard.
my own kitchen down in LA, so I'm like, I'm gonna utilize it,
Yeah,
and I'm
for
like,
sure.
bro,
People make
messing
it
up
look
shit.
so easy,
Yeah,
but
bro.
it's so difficult. But I feel like, just being able to cook will help you in life in general.
Yeah,
Just like, if you have a home and you got kids, when you're older, just being able to cook, throw something together, save money, like
yeah,
it's just yeah, that's something I probably would say I have a little bit of passion for.
yeah. No, for sure. And now going into your second year, what are you working on most in the off season? And describe what your off season. Not really a off season yet.
Yeah,
Doesn't feel like it, but
not at
describe your
all.
off season. What you working on most?
Probably shooting. You
Shooting.
got to be able to space the floor in the league. Just being able to knock down the corner three, get a good percentage. That's definitely a big offseason goal of mine. Something I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
show that I can do next season. And then just making simple reads. So the game is played pretty much at a pick and roll, and you have to be able to make those reads, especially if I'm in a short roll and a pick and roll, making that corner pass on time and on target, and
Yeah.
if the big's too back, throwing up a touch shot, or if the big's up to me, how can I attack the big with the limited space? Because don't have that much distance. Like I'm not playing on the wing then.
Do you watch
Like
film every day?
yeah,
Every day. And there's like a person dedicated just for that.
yeah. So I have guys send me clips, or I'll just like watch an old game. Like I watch a game that we played last year, and I'll see, hey, what I do here? Or what can I do better? It's
Yeah, all that.
just staying dedicated to that, and then watching your own teammates, stuff that they do and stuff that they
Mm.
didn't do necessarily in the game, like ways I can get on the court. So
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely have a big offseason. Trying to keep it simple with the areas I'm trying to progress in, but really hitting that hard so that I'm achieving everything I want to achieve.
Yeah, no, for sure. I wanted to also ask you, for the people who don't know, um, what's a day in the life of an NBA player? Like, how do you prepare for a game?
Yeah,
How's your day going?
yeah. So on a game day, usually get in probably like 10 o'clock to go through shoot around. Going over plays, just getting some light shots up. It's usually about an hour. I'll eat, a light meal after that, shower up and take a nap. I'm a big nap guy, so I gotta take like a 2 hour nap before the game.
Yeah,
And when you're a rookie, you gotta get to the arena early. So if we have a 7:30 game, I'm there at like 4:15. And I gotta do like my pregame on the court workout. It's like 20 minutes, super short, but you're just getting shots and really getting a sweat in before the game.
yeah,
And I think like that for me is like super important. Then we watch film after that, and it's pretty good. But
yeah.
you gotta get on the game and be able to really lock in and focus on the task.
Okay. And last question. We already talked about the day in the life.
Mhm.
So is that the same for road trips? Like, do you get in the same night or the night before, or do you get in the day of?
Yeah, so
Describe
it
that.
depends. Like if you got a back to back, obviously you gotta fly right after the game and get in there, you get no sleep. So
Yeah.
those are the tough back-to-backs are definitely tough. But normal day we usually get in there like in the afternoon the day before.
Yeah.
Try to get there nice and early so that you got the rest of the day, just stay off your feet, relax, that shoot
Yeah.
around's productive, and you have enough energy to go to the next game because the 82 game season
Yeah.
super
It's
long,
a long
and
season. You got to
gotta
prepare your
just be able
body.
to make sure that you still be able to give 100%.
Not for sure. And just to end off the video, what's your message to everybody watching you right now? Spurs fans, NBA fans, everybody. What's your one message to everybody getting ready for year two?
Man, I'm just be excited. Definitely got a nice young core coming in that's really hungry to work, and you know, just really stay tuned and trust the process in that aspect of we're gonna work and we're gonna really dedicate ourselves to the fans and all the people back home. So
Mhm.
really just be excited because we gonna get better. We're gonna be better than last year, and the year after that we're gonna be better. So we're just gonna
Yep.
keep going the right direction.
Yeah, for sure. But no, thank you
My man.
for getting on here with me. Yeah, this was the second episode with Don Barlow, Spurs forward. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, thank you. Episode 3 on the way.